Welcome to the podcast, Lily. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
All right. Well, yeah, let's dive right in. So, as I mentioned in the intro, what Lily had reached out to me to talk about on this episode was a lot of marketing, sales, the struggle she's having with trying to get clients off of a platform like social media into her business, and then also maybe some anxieties and fears and stressors that are holding her back. So that's kind of what we're going to just start peeling away the layers at to see what really is getting in your way. So kind of describe to me the experience that you have of not having enough clients or clients reaching out, but then you don't see the booking on the other end.
Well, I get a lot of messages and texts and calls about, hey, like, where are you located? What is your pricing? All of this. And I make sure to have my pricing everywhere. It's in my Instagram. It's on my website. Like, I talk about it. It's in my stories. It's on my Facebook. It's on my Yelp, Google. It's everywhere. And then my location is everywhere as well. And I tag my location in every single photo so people know exactly where I'm at. Just to help out. And then it's always kind of like, hey, like, thanks so much for reaching out. Like, if you had lash extensions before, like, what are your biggest struggles with your current lashes? And all of those kind of basic questions. And then as soon as I tell them the price, they're gone.
Okay.
And I'm not sure why, because my prices aren't crazy expensive like other people, but they're not super cheap to make people concerned. So.
Okay. So walk me through the conversation because there's a lot of good data points here. And this is how I look at it is, what is the data telling us that's going to help us improve the numbers, right? So if we're looking at, I get lots of messages, let's just say on average, you get 10 a week. Let's just make up a number here. So if you get 10 messages a week, and we go through a process of trying to understand if they've had lashes before or, trying to understand why they want lashes or their experience or their desired results. And then we give them the price point. Where are we missing that conversion into a booking? Now, not all 10 messages will convert into a client, but we need some sort of data to know what is working and what isn't working so that we can know what to improve upon. So have you had any clients go through that process that end up booking?
Yeah.
Okay. So kind of if we're looking at success leaves clues, what has happened in those situations that you felt worked really well to get that client to book an appointment?
They were ready.
Okay. What does that mean?
Like, they were ready to book with me. They had already gone through my profile. They knew exactly what style of lashes I did. They knew what they wanted. They knew they wanted to book with me. It was just more so they wanted to confirm it because at that time, my pricing everywhere was different. The website pricing was different versus my booking site versus my Instagram. Everything was different. So they were trying to find out exactly what the pricing was so that way they could book. But they were ready.
Okay. So if I'm looking at this as that is like the path to success, right? Like that is the ideal result that we're looking for to grow, right? To get more of that specific journey and whatnot. It sounds like your Instagram or your social media marketing, I'm assuming that's what we're talking about, where they find you, or do they find you in other places?
They can find me everywhere.
No, but where did these clients?
Oh, Instagram.
Instagram. Okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds like your marketing on Instagram is effective in educating clients on what makes you different and creating that demand for wanting specifically what you offer. So that's like a big hurdle that most people struggle with, just even getting to that point. And then you said it was just getting clarity on the pricing because it was different and confusing.
Yeah.
Really great thing to understand is that a confused mind doesn't buy.
No, it does not.
So we have to be the little sleuth, the detectives in our business to see where might we be causing confusion.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because and the second thing that it sounds like you did really well there was addressing any sort of sales objections that they might have. It's the better your marketing is, the less selling you have to do. So for these particular clients that ended up booking, you addressed all of their concerns or their confusion in order for them to just know, okay, what is the actual price, which was their reason for not booking without you having to be involved in it. So kind of tell me about what you think is happening for those that are messaging you that are not booking that might be a little bit different, because you're walking them through a different conversation, right? Because you're saying that the people that end up booking are pretty much already convinced to book, They just needed clarification on the pricing. Whereas these other people that are asking more in-depth questions or wanting to know pricing, you're saying that they're not booking. So what do you think the big difference is?
I don't know. I don't know if it's just the way that people's minds think and they're shopping for the best deal around and who has the cheapest lashes.
Okay, so let's go with that first. Let's assign that as a data point, because that's a target market thing, right? So these are deal seekers looking for the best deal. Could be one reason why they're not ended up booking, because I'm not the cheapest, right?
Yeah.
So say deal seekers is one group of clients that may be reaching out to you. What else?
For sure. People who just, I don't know.
Okay,
Really,
so
I don't know. I think they're just, maybe they've never had lashes before, or they have had lashes and they were bad.
okay, so never had lashes, and then that's one group, and then had a bad experience with lashes is another group.
Yeah.
Bad experience. Okay.
And
Keep
then I think
brain dumping. This is great.
me not having enough photos of my work because I am a new tech.
Okay.
So that is a little bit hard.
Yeah. We're going to call that lack of social proof.
Okay.
Right. So it's not just the images of showing the transformation. It could also be reviews or testimonials or proof that you are what you say that you are. Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
lack of social proof. Okay. Keep going. This is great. Anything else?
Those lack of reviews for sure, or the lack of seeing like my clients repost me.
Okay.
Which, yeah, that's social proof again.
Yep. And why would you think that a lack of social proof would stop somebody from booking?
I get so focused on what other techs are doing and how their pages are looking and how their lashes are looking and how their clients are responding to them, that I see all these texts with girls who repost their tech and tag their tech in their stories. They make a post on Instagram or Facebook and they tag their tech in it, where my clients don't do that. And sometimes my clients, those straight up tell me, like, I don't want to tell people about you because I don't want you to get so booked that I can't see you. And I'm like, okay, I love that. Thank you. But that's not good for me because I want people to come to me. It is business. So a lot of times, like, I don't get tagged on people's stories, even though it'll be like a close-up photo of them having a glass of wine and their lashes, bam, front and center, and they're blinking, making them beautiful, but no mention of me, no nothing, which is kind of.
Have you ever reached out to be like, this looks amazing, would you mind if I shared this on my profile?
Yes, I have.
And they're like, no, I don't want you to get busy, or I don't want to share, or.
Some of the girls, a lot of them say no because they're going through their own problems
Right.
in life. But some of them don't mind. The ones that don't mind normally tag me.
Beautiful. Okay. Okay. So it sounds like in that particular case, you are comparing yourself to what you see as, or what you perceive as, a successful marketing plan where people are tagging in the photos and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Keep in mind, you are not your ideal client.
No.
So you are the business owner who's struggling with comparisonitis, as opposed to what is effective to getting a client to book. Now, it could be, I'm not going to say it's not, but I, as a potential customer, I'm not going to be comparing two different lash artists and go, oh, well, her clients are tagging her in her photos, so she clearly is better. That's not even going to cross my mind. Okay. Especially because it seems that the types of clients that you're drawing in aren't there for the Instagram influencer lifestyle where they're like blowing up that they have this work done on them, you know? And so it may not even be that your ideal client is utilizing social media in that way that they would even be aware that other people tag and businesses share and all that kind of stuff. Does that make sense?
They do, because they tag all their other people.
Oh, interesting.
And that is kind of my ideal market. So I specialize in volume and that strip lash, and long length. And I think a lot of that has to do with why I don't get clients, because San Diego is very on the natural side. A lot of people out here, they want classics or short lashes or something soft and natural. They don't like the drama. So I focus on the girls who are super into social media. I go for the girls who tag locations everywhere, who add music, who tag their clothes, like who love to tag things.
Got
like,
it. Okay.
Ideal kind of a person to go after. Girls who are going out all the time, girls who are having brunch with their girlfriends on the weekends, like girls who love to be out and about in the world.
And yet they're not tagging you.
Yeah, so that's why I'm confused. I'm like, okay, so like you can tag Fashion Nova, but you can't tag me. Like you can tag Louis Vuitton, but you can't tag me. Like I don't understand where it becomes a problem with them. And I don't know if it's like because they tag their hair people. They go get their hair done and they're like, oh, fresh hair, new me. So I'm not sure why. And it kind of plays into my insecurities a lot of am I not a good enough tech? But they keep coming back, so I must be good enough.
Right. Okay. So you get to choose which belief serves you better. Which belief serves you better? I'm not good enough that they don't want to share me, or they keep coming back. So I must be good enough. That must not be the reason.
And I'm changing my mindset to be more positive. So before, when I was so stuck on that, I'm not good enough if they don't tag me, I'm definitely focusing more on, well, I must be good enough. I am good enough if they're coming back.
Because it's for you, the end result is not them tagging you. For you is getting a customer.
Yes.
So let's not get misconstrued on what the goal is for you to define success in your business, which is making money. And so you are getting customers. Yes. They're just not doing the word of mouth marketing or the social media. So if you want to go down that path, if you want to be somebody who utilizes what's called influencer marketing, then we can create a system or a process to take advantage of that style of marketing with intention. So this is something that we do. So if you are a society member, we have taught this in the past, and I can definitely link you to it, but I'll share it on the podcast as well, is that I don't love it when micro influencers or beauty pageant queens or fitness competitors, all that reach out to us, or influencers reach out to the business to be like, hey, I've got 30,000 followers and like, can you do my lashes for free? Right? Because that happens. And a lash artist will look at it and go like, wow, they have such a big platform. Like, I don't need 30,000 customers. If I could just get like 200 people like following me, it would be amazing. However, the issue is that, especially with somebody who's like a fitness competitor, model, fashion, that kind of stuff, you have to look at who their followers are.
Yeah.
Because chances are there's a lot of men in there that are going to be engaging, and that's not your ideal audience. So you can look at the people in your world that you think have a local following, like mommy bloggers. So I'll give you an example. Do you know who Laura Kane is? She used to be on a radio show. You might be a little too young. Okay. She was on the radio for like 20 years in San Diego. And I listened to her from when I was in elementary school all the way through when they got off the air a couple of years ago. And she did this thing called Dear Laura's Diary. And I remember when I was just starting out my business, she wrote that she was just feeling down and out and just feeling really ick about herself. And she had been through a divorce and she was single. And I don't remember if she was going through a breakup or just was feeling ick. And I just reached out and said, wow, your last Laura's Diary really touched me. And while I don't know that I can help you, I do have a lash business. And if you want eyelash extensions, like, I'm happy to give you a set, like, let me take a couple pictures of you, but I just want you to feel good. There's no ties to it. It was kind of more just like, I felt for her, and she had been somebody I'd been listening to for 2 decades. And she actually responded. And so she is a local radio personality. So not visual, but who she was, she had a following. She had a lot of women who looked to her for fashion. She did like Laura's $5, or it was a $20 outfit of the day, was like a weekly bit they did. And so she had social media where she would post these things, and her website, the radio website for diaries. So she really was a great influencer that was local, that made sense for me to give away a service or discount a service to be able to get her in the door. What I didn't recognize was how well connected she was, that when she came in, she told a lot of people that I actually didn't have a physical location yet, that I couldn't take the influx of people. But that's how influencer marketing can work. So she told, not only did she talk about on the radio, I posted her, she shared that on her page. So then people started following me, and it just that's how it can work. And you really don't need a whole lot of influencers. No. So if you have some of those clients already, would you say any of your clients have 500 or more followers that might be your target local clients?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. So this is where we can build out a more beefy referral program for those that have a bigger influence. So maybe they're not influencer standards where they've got 30,000 or 30,000 followers, but I'm an influencer. I'm not a local influencer. My audience is all over the world. So somebody local isn't going to benefit from me posting about them, because maybe I have 15, 20 people nearby that might be local, but with the algorithm, we got to play the numbers. So think about, let's just pick one particular client that you're thinking of right now. What, how often does she come in for her lashes?
About every 3 to 4 weeks.
3 to 4 weeks. Okay. And how much is she spending each time?
$100.
Beautiful. Great pricing. Okay. And then, is there any other services she gets, or is it just the lashes?
Just lashes for me.
Yeah. So do you have a referral program currently for like word of mouth? Okay. What is that program?
If you refer a friend, you get $15 off and your friend gets $10 off.
Beautiful. Okay. So here's where we're going to have kind of more of an influencer referral program that is not advertised, that is only for select people that you think is the right fit to help you get more marketing from this particular individual. Mm-hmm. So the way that I did this was I made them earn their discount. It was not given. So I would set up something, and usually if it's, so I'm going to talk both to reaching out to somebody that is not a current client, and then we can kind of see how that would work with your current client. So I might offer them even a free full set, or 50% off a full set, or just whatever, like the most significant discount I can get. And in return, I will get photos, right? Like I will take before and after photos. I'll be able to tag her. She will have her steps that she needs to do. So I'm going to require that she does, 3-story mentions over a period of 2 weeks, that she'll go live and talk about it. And she'll do 6 posts over the course of 2 months, or whatever the standards are, whatever you think would be worthwhile for you to discount your services that heavily, so that you can have some content that's from this particular influencer. And maybe she has to tag you in a post once a week, or whatever the boundaries are. You can get creative with it, make it up, whatever makes sense. And you can also negotiate with them what they think makes sense. Then once that's one aspect of influencer marketing. If they would like to continue to come and get services from you, then I will offer a percentage off of their service based on the number of new clients that come in and pay for a service between their appointments. Okay. So they're never going to say like, oh my God, 6 people are going to call you. Can I get my discount? It's once the client, their referral has come in and paid, then I will apply it to their next appointment. So I'm never discounting money until it's come into the business first. Okay. So the way that I like to do that was, for 1 new full set referred, I would do 25% off of their service. For 2 new full sets, 50% off. And if they referred 3 new full sets, they would get 100% off their appointment. Okay. Because think about it this way, when we're looking at the numbers of that, what do you charge for a full set?
Oh, anywhere between $160 and $240.
Okay, so let's just say even $160, right? And even if she can give a special discount as like, her followers, 10, 15%, whatever, for easy math, let's just keep it at 10%. So the money coming into the business is $144. Don't hate me if the math is wrong, off of your classic set. So you're making $144 off of that one client. Okay. And then if she brings in 3 clients between her appointments, 3 new clients, and you're offering her basically a free $100 service, but your business has brought in, sorry, I should have had a calculator out. 144 times 3. So the business has brought in $432 from those 3 referrals, and you're giving away essentially a $100 service plus the discount. You're still money positive.
Yeah.
And she doesn't get a discount on those clients returning. So anything that, if those clients come back, which is a whole other metric to look at, like making sure that the clients we're getting in continue to come back. Our bread and butter is the fill services. So if you want to play with the discount on the full set, do that all day long. So I'm okay giving away a free service to somebody that can refer 3 clients into the business in a period of 3 or 4 weeks when I don't have to do any of the marketing.
Yeah.
Right? I'm paying her to do the marketing.
Yeah.
By way of a discount that is earned, not given.
Okay.
So that way, if she complains like, oh, I want my discount, like, yeah, do some work. You said you had all these engaged customers, people I'm sure are messaging you where you get your lashes done, let them know that they sent you, like, and I can work with her to be like, look, do you want to run a special this month where your followers get 20% off? Let's try that out. And you can really partner with them for them to do the work, because that's what you're doing with influencer marketing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
How does that feel as far as like the current clientele you have and their social media presence and the type of clients? Because let's face it, like you said, like San Diego does love a more natural look. Doesn't mean that there's plenty of women who don't like the strip lash look, but when you have your current clients, especially if they have a platform, even if a platform is 500 to 1,000 followers, they're likely the same types of followers that want a similar look. They are looking at her as like, I want to be like her. So I think it is a much more targeted audience when you're intentional about choosing that influencer.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah. Does that sound like it's something that easy for you to like implement?
Oh yeah, definitely. I wrote notes down to make sure.
Well, don't worry, the episode's recorded, so you'll be able to listen back to
okay.
it.
Sure, that's true.
Okay. All right. So awesome. I think given the way that you are looking at social media and wanting the ability to get tagged and the style of lashes that you do, that might be a really easy thing for you to implement very quickly and see how it works. Now, we're not just going to put it out there and be one and done. I want you to look at it to see how is it performing? What one thing might I change next month to see if I can get it better? Talk with your influencer and say like, hey, how's that working for you? Does this feel like a fair trade? That kind of stuff. And you can always negotiate and come up with what's a win-win for both of you.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
All right. So I think, so you've got your influencers as one aspect that you can be proactive in reaching out to or utilizing your current clientele. Now, the deal seekers that you lose when it comes to pricing, is that a strategy you want to change because you want to attract deal seekers, or is that not an audience we want?
Not really an audience I want.
Okay, great. So we are not going to spend any time, energy, or resources updating your marketing process and your sales conversation in DMs for the deal seekers, because we don't want them in our business. If you guys want deal seekers in your business, go for it. But when we're looking at trying to build a business of clients that we love that are going to pay us full price, the deal seekers aren't going to be that necessarily that type.
No.
All right. So then we have two other audiences, never had lashes and had a bad experience with lashes.
Mm-hmm.
So in your DM conversations, how do you determine which pool they fall into?
I asked them. So they'll reach out and I'll be like, hi, like, thank you so much for reaching out. Have you ever had lash extensions before? And they'll either say yes or no.
Okay.
If they say yes, I ask them like, okay, like, how do you feel about your current lashes? Like, what are you looking to improve with your future lashes? What are you looking for in a tech? And kind of like the basic questions I'll ask them.
Okay. And so what is a typical response?
A typical response is that my lash tech is flaky. She canceled on me at the last minute. My lashes hurt. They're clumped together. She doesn't have enough time. I can't ever get in with her.
All right. Awesome. So for this particular audience that has had lashes and just having a bad experience or bad results, everything you just listed is the opposite of that is what makes your unique selling point.
Mm-hmm.
Inside the Lashpreneur Society, have you been through the Blue Ocean strategy where we talk about that in the USP training?
No.
Okay,
Was that
Yep. So it's in the success path and it's in, so we've got the MFC training, your most favorite client type, and then the unique selling point. That will be a really valuable exercise for you to go through. So I don't want you marketing on anything other than what makes you unique, because your clients are already these people are already telling you what their experience is, and you can create content and sell yourself to the opposite of what you're hearing. So flaky lash tech would be one feedback you're getting from why somebody would be searching for another lash artist. So if you had to say a couple of points to why you're not flaky, what would you say to me as a potential client? How are you not flaky?
Oh gosh. Because this is my business. This is my only business. I pride myself on really good quality work. I have a happiness guaranteed policy.
Beautiful. Okay. So client satisfaction or happiness guarantee.
Yes.
Because the other ones were more about you. It wasn't really about how you're not a flaky lash tech. It was like just attributes that your flaky lash tech could say, and it would still be true. But the happiness guarantee, I think, is that minimizing the risk that you're not flaky. I think there's some other things in there. Let's see. Do you have a set number of clients that you don't see past that many in a day?
I'm not that busy yet, so no.
I mean, what are the ways in which you think that you're not flaky?
Oh gosh.
I mean, do you start your appointments on time? Do you show up 30 minutes early? I mean, what are some?
Always. I'm always there early just because I like to set up the station and have everything ready to go by the time that they get there. Plus I've had clients show up like 15 minutes early, and I don't ever want to be telling them like, oh, hold on a second, I'm not here.
Okay, so one thing that we could state, and this is also marketing content, but also a way to sell in the DMs of like, well, I show up 30 minutes before every appointment. So even if you're the first appointment of the day, I'm already there. My appointments start on time and end on time. Is that a fair statement?
Ending on time, sometimes no, because sometimes clients will come in with less lashes than they should. Or they're the clients that I know that I'm going to have a conversation with. So I know that the appointment's going to go over 15 minutes.
Okay, you're bringing up a great point. Let's talk about that. So set standard service times is going to be huge for you to get consistency in your business and in your results, and also not give away your time without it being compensated. So think about how you run your business now and push it out 6 months from now when you're getting really booked and fully booked. Are you going to be able to still have time for conversation and whenever it makes sense or whenever you feel like, okay, this is enough for today?
No.
Okay, so we don't want to create those behaviors and expectations in our clients now, even though, yes, we do have the time,
Okay.
but it is creating a series of behaviors and expectations that we can't deliver on when we start to get really busy.
Okay.
So I would start to pull back that you have set standard times to your appointments, that they start on time, end on time. Because here's what also happens, and what you may notice is, if a client if they come in and then they come in 2 weeks or 3 weeks later and they don't have as many lashes as before, but the reality is that they should have come in earlier to keep the full set look.
Yeah.
Or they're not taking care of their lashes and they're not doing aftercare, but you're just going to fix it anyways because they're coming in at 3 weeks and this is just their appointment, and you'll give away time, you'll make the appointment longer if needed. Whereas what that is really robbing you of is the education of the client on proper maintenance. So as a lash tech, if you come in and you don't have a certain amount of extensions remaining, not percentage, we don't do percentages, a set amount of extensions remaining, you are actually considered a full set, not a fill, right? And we can have a one-time exception with that where we educate the clients and say, I require that you have 20 extensions remaining per eye in order to be considered a fill. You have 18 on one eye and 14 on the other eye. So technically next time this would be a full set. Here's how we can work together to get your retention to increase. You can either come back sooner because it seems to me that, your lashes just aren't lasting. I don't know what you're doing at home, but they don't seem to be lasting as long to get you to go 3 weeks. Or you can purchase aftercare cleanser to really help make sure that we're keeping your lashes squeaky clean. That will help the adhesive last longer and you can go 3 weeks. Both of those result in more sales for you and a better result for the client. But when we don't even have the opportunity for that conversation if they're going to come in and Lily's just going to fix whatever problems they have.
Yeah. And I've been working out a lot. And actually in December, I made an announcement on my Instagram that I will no longer be going overtime on the appointments, that you need to come in sooner and book your fills more appropriately, because it's not fair towards me to have to spend extra time because you didn't want to come in sooner.
Okay, hold on. They don't care about you.
No, they don't.
Okay, and let's also make a very clear distinction that your Instagram is for marketing potential customers, not communicating with current clients.
Okay.
Because think about it from a
website, it's on my website, it's in my policies, it's in the email that I send out, it's in the text reminder, it's in everything now.
Right. You told me at the beginning though, no matter where you're posting things, people still aren't acknowledging it or following along with it. So
No.
let's make that very clear distinction. Anytime you do a policy change, update hours, pricing, all of that, that is for current clients to know.
Yeah.
And having that conversation with them face to face when they come in is the best way for you to know that they heard and understood you.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing with social media. If you post anything that is not marketing, policies, I don't want to give away my time anymore, whatever it is, my pricing, think about the algorithm. How do you even engage with that? Am I supposed to like it? Am I supposed to say cool beans? Got it?
Just
No.
make a mental note.
Right.
But it's not going to
Make
happen.
a mental note, but I can make a mental note, but what does that tell the algorithm?
Nothing. That I'm not engaging, so they're not going to show my content or post anymore.
So even if you post that, the people that see it, likely not really your clients, because your clientele is much smaller than your audience is, they're not going to engage with it. Therefore, it's not going to get out. So you've just wasted your time trying to communicate something that your clients are never going to hear in the first place, because the algorithm is there preventing it from being seen.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we want to focus our social media marketing on potential customers and what they value. They don't care that you're giving away time. They don't care about you until they understand that you care about them. And by that point, they're probably already a customer and you can have that conversation. But again, even when we're talking to our current customers about we're no longer giving away time and it's not fair to me, they don't care, right? What they care about is them. And we can frame it in a way of, this is the new policy. Appointments will start on time and end on time. I'm sorry for any inconvenience. I need structure. You can always blame it on the business coach. I love it when people do that. Like, my business coach says, this is how things need to run. Like, if you want a scapegoat, I will be that for you. We don't have to justify why we run our business the way that we do. We do need to make sure that it makes sense for clients. I want to make sure that you're getting out on time so that I don't bleed into your day. Because here's the thing, if somebody who's super busy, I cannot stand when an appointment doesn't end on time, because I've got my schedule lined up with very little flexibility in it. And if you take up more time because you weren't done with your job, it's going to piss me off.
Yeah.
So you're really not doing yourself a service by flexibility with your appointment times. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Awesome.
Because I mean, it's
such good.
It sucks. It just sucks because, like, even when they're in there and I started telling them in person, like, hey, you know what, like, I noticed it's been 3 or 4 weeks, like, your lashes need more time. But like I've stated and told you before, like, I have to end my appointment at the time. I have another client. So you need to be responsible for coming in sooner. If you wake up and you see your lashes right now and they're not as full as they normally are, it's because you came in here with too few of lashes needing a 4-week appointment or a full set altogether. So this is what you're getting, as I've explained to you with the last appointment and the prior.
Okay, so I would fire you as a lash tech if you ever talk to me that way.
Yeah.
You're making it, again, it's like you're disciplining a child. You didn't listen, you didn't behave. They're paying you. And so it's their lashes. But here's where you can educate them on how to get better results by their behavior. So it's not, I've told you this enough times, because look, you say something once and they move on with their life and they're not thinking about it. But then again, you're going to fix everything for them. At least that's the behavior that you've trained. And so when we are addressing client behavioral problems, or they're not booking when they should be coming in sooner, it's because you have allowed it. There is no consequence to it. Now, we can enforce a consequence, but we don't need to like shame them for their behavior. It's their choice. It's their life. But we are not going to enable them to continue. So the way that I would handle that situation is, wow, I see that your lashes didn't last like I thought. What happened? Then shut up and let them talk. They'll either rat themselves that they didn't take care of them, that they wore strip lashes, that I don't know, like they don't seem to last past 3 weeks. Well, it sounds like if you want to maintain a full look, that you need to come in every 2 weeks instead of every 3. Oh, I don't want to pay for it. Well, the alternative is that I require that you have X amount of extensions remaining. And right now this would be a full set. So it actually costs you more in the future because I would charge you a full set. So really you'd be saving money by coming in every 2 weeks as opposed to getting a full set every 3.5 weeks.
Yeah.
And if you want aftercare, cleansing your lashes between appointments is the best way to get great retention. So yes, I know my cleanser is $30, but that will last you 3 months. And it will help you to go longer and have fuller looking results so that we can get our appointments done on time. Do you see how just even that conversation was more educational and benefit driven for the client, even though I'm enforcing a boundary and a policy?
Yeah. When I've gone down that road, it's always the same thing though.
What is
It's
that?
it's always the, oh, we already have a cleanser, or we don't want to buy yours, or we use our cleanser. And then I'll explain to them why a lash cleanser is better. Or when I explain to them, like, hey, like your lashes aren't looking as full as they were the last time I had seen you, like what's been going on. And they always do rat themselves out, and or they lie about it straight up.
And
But
that's
it's
fine.
always like, hey, I don't want to come back in sooner. It does, it's almost as if they're not understanding it when I am so nice about it. And every single time I've been nice about it, it's the same thing. They're coming back every 4, sometimes even 5 or 6 weeks. When I've been like, hey, you know what? Like I told you last time that you got to come in sooner. Unfortunately, this time, like I just don't have enough time because I have clients. You need to be coming
But
back.
you still do the service anyways.
Yes, but I cut them off at their time, their ending time. And I'll tell them
So,
like, hey, like this is what's going to happen. You're not going to get as many lashes today as you're used to. Is that all right with you? And every time they're like, yeah, that's fine. Just do whatever you can.
okay.
But then
So
they
we
start
don't
coming
ask, is that all? Well, okay. So here's the thing. It's your business and it's your boundaries. You have to be comfortable with enforcing your boundaries.
Yeah.
So and I think I did a podcast episode on this where it's like savage. It's like, if you come in the next time, I will charge you for the full set. And if I have availability that day, and you have to be okay with, Sarah, look, we had this conversation last time that if you came in with less than X amount percent or X extensions remaining per eye, that it would be a full set. I counted, you have 10 on this side and 14 on this side, and I require a minimum of 30. This is going to be a full set. I don't have time for a full set today, so we're going to need to reschedule you for a full set. She's probably going to get bent out of shape because she wants her appointment, but you have already explained to her and educated her on what the policies are. You are not at fault here. So all we're doing is enforcing a grown adult to follow the boundaries that we've set. And if she gets upset about it, that's on her. And maybe we lose a client, but you are going to lose clients when you are going overtime or you're running late because you're constantly trying to bend over backwards and customize each appointment based on whatever came into the shop that day. That's not scalable.
Yeah.
And so it is having that conversation and even getting to the point where you turn away a client. If clients have poor retention, or I see that they come in with dirty lashes, I cleanse the lashes every appointment. But if you continue to come in and you don't purchase my cleanser, you can say, look, I don't know what cleanser you're using at home, but here's what I'm noticing. And this is why I carry the cleanser that I do, because it doesn't leave this residue. It gets fully clean. I will teach you how to clean your lashes properly. You can use whatever you want at home. I can't be responsible for what that cleanser does to your extensions. But if you want something that's going to help with your retention, I can only back the thing that I carry because I have had experience and results. That's why I recommend this product. You don't have to take it. That's fine. But just know, like, the behaviors you're experiencing are because you've allowed it and not set the boundary and then followed through with it.
Yeah.
Most of the time you won't have clients pushing you once you set the boundary. But those that will, then that's the lesson that they need to learn, because it's hard I would rather them go elsewhere to somebody who's going to struggle, because those are the types of people that are going to be taking 10, 12, 14 clients a day. They're going to get burned out. Like, you need a business that's scalable with a clientele that respects you and that pays full price, that you can predict your income and how many clients you need so that you can have more stability in your business. Because how does that, you having stability in your business, how does that benefit a client?
Yeah. Just me having stability, because it makes them a better client. It makes them come in on time. It makes them have better care with their
Do they care if they're a better client for you?
No.
So how does it benefit the client? It was the number one reason you gave me why somebody else was reaching out to you as opposed to.
Because they're just deal seekers.
No, because they're used to flaky lash artists.
Oh,
and you having stability in your business means you are not flaky in your business.
Yeah. And I think the problem is that I need clients who care more. Because a lot of the clients I have is from when I first opened business and my pricing was really low and everything was cheap. And these are clients like I gave away free lash shampoos during Christmas time to my clients who would not wash their lashes, and they still will not wash their lashes. Like, talking to about aftercare with clients is like, oh my goodness, nobody wants to hear it. It's as bad as you having COVID and nobody wanting to come around you. Like, it's very hard. And my clients, like, they actually laugh about it. They're like, oh, I know I was crying, or I know I was picking it. I know I should come in sooner, but I just don't have time, or I just don't have the money, or I just don't want to. Like, they straight up tell me, like, I've told them before, like, hey, this is what's happening. Like, you need to come in sooner, like this.
Really, you've told them, but you have not enforced a consequence, which is why you're continuing to get that result.
Oh, I straight up, I stop. I mean, I've had clients go out with half set of lashes before because they keep doing the same thing over and over and over. And they tell me, they're like, oh no, they look fine. They're great. I'll see you in a couple weeks. And they came back and they needed a full new set. And I told them, hey, you know what? You have no lashes on. Like, you literally have one lash on the one eye and 2 or 3 on the other eye. You need a full set. And they're like, okay, like, that's fine. Like, I'll just book a full set and I'll just do a fill right now. And then I'll come back later when you have time. And normally what ends up happening, but it's to the point where my clients are straight out telling me they don't care. They know.
You're really in your defense right now. Can you sense that? Do you notice that you're really in your defense, and like, my clients do this and my clients do this and they're in control and they're in charge? Or you're noticing that that's what's coming up for you, and kind of this tension you're feeling inside?
I am, because I've tried so many routes with clients. I've tried the nice approach. I've tried the intense approach. I've tried the, hey, this is strategic. I've tried the, I'm taking photos of your lashes to show you the proof because you don't believe me. So it's kind of like not so defensive, just frustration with my clients not wanting to listen or not caring. So
how is that serving you with this frustration and anger with your clients?
I have been telling my clients they need to find new techs. Like, I've
So
actually
you're now trying to fire clients when
I've actually been firing clients because it's so intense that it's just so emotionally exhausting and draining on me and stressful on me that it's not worth it for me to get that $60.
Right.
That $70 is no longer worth it to me.
Not even about the money. It's not, your energy is being spent on things that are draining you.
It is. And
you're actually, it's actually self-sabotaging behavior, because you want clients, yet now we're talking about you firing clients.
Yeah.
So there's a benefit to that, right? We don't do anything that doesn't benefit us. And while it may seem counterproductive, like, I get so worked up about clients. Why do you, if okay, let's just say they followed policies or they didn't follow policies, and your policies were working, your policies are set in place to create a win-win situation for you and the business, right? Let's say that is the business model we have. I don't think it sounds like the current business model you have, but let's just say all of that is working. Why do you energetically care if a client comes in when she does or doesn't? Her money spends the same. Why does it matter to you that she has less results, but she's still within your policies, if that makes sense?
Because when she walks out of the door, that's a direct reflection of me and my business.
That is your ego.
Yeah, but when she goes to a restaurant,
is your ego. It is her life and her lashes. Yeah. You are taking ownership of someone else. She's walking out the door. Look, that's my work out there. I need to be represented well. If my lashes look like crap out there, that reflects that on me. It's not, you're providing a service. If she loves the way she looks when she walks out, isn't that the goal?
Yeah.
Whether your work looks perfect or not, isn't it the goal that she feels good about herself?
Yeah.
So why are we giving so much energy on our ego coming in saying, my work needs to look the best. It needs to look the way my standards are set. I own you and your eyeballs, and you will do what I say. That's not what she's paying you for.
No.
Right? No, isn't that crazy how we take so much ownership of it?
It just sucks because I've had bad reviews from other people saying, like, I saw this girl's lashes and they were so bad, and I asked her where she got them done, and she said that she got them from.
All right. So that is a whole different.
I had to go through Yelp, and that was brutal. Like,
I totally understand where that is a fear. That is malicious, and that is also slander. Yeah. And that's a legal issue. So if somebody is not a customer and they are not sharing their actual experience, then that is where lawyers can get involved.
Yeah.
Or like you said, Yelp, or we can get the company involved with slander.
Yeah, that's what happened. I had to go through for slander.
I totally understand that pain point and that fear. let's put that in a different section, because that is not a reflection of a client's experience.
Mhm.
That is malicious intent
Mhm.
from some catty ass bitches out there, right? Um,
But I mean, I guess going back on like the clients feeling good about themselves is that when I go overtime and I do whatever it is with the client and I bend over backwards for the client, they're extremely happy and ecstatic. When I tell them, hey, your appointment time was an hour and a half, it's an hour and a half. Thank you so much for coming in. I can tell the disappointment on their faces when they look at their lashes.
right. So
And so
this
that
is where we have the conversation. You need to come back in earlier for the results that you want.
I did. And when I did have that conversation, I had that conversation with probably like 6 of my clients, and they all, every single one of them said the exact same thing. I know, but I don't have time. Or I know I'm a new
Right.
mom.
Then they don't get the lashes they
I don't
want.
have the money. And I
You're
tell
not here
them
to
that
save the day.
too. And I tell them, I'm like, look, I know that you're not happy with the lash.
We don't feed into their sob story.
Okay.
The boundary is, it's not like, I know you're not happy, and it's, yeah, come in at 2 weeks, we'll get you back full. I've got available 2 Tuesdays from now. Does that work for you? I'll keep it the same appointment time. I don't want to come back in. Okay, just know that we can't get you back to full without you coming in consistent maintenance.
Okay.
And we can work on doing a cleanser to see if you can go in between appointments. You are not giving them the option to guilt you into continuing the behavior you've done. You've created this beast. You are 100% responsible for your business and the results that you currently have.
Okay.
We don't ever need to fire. The only time that I recommend firing a client is when there is a threat of safety or there's emotional harm being done. Clients, if we have the right policies in place and we don't get our emotions involved, most times the bad clients will fire themselves.
Mhm.
And what we teach you in the society is those policies to have in place, because that's fine. We're going to get people in our business that just are not the right fit. We are, again, responsible for that, which means that, and you already kind of identified this, we are the ones that attracted those people into our business by way of how we marketed our business at that time. You don't like the clientele you have, check your marketing, because you got the target market wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so maybe this is just a growing experience of where we are weeding out the clients that are unwilling to grow with us as our business grows, and we can thank them for the time we spent. But now we are aware of the pain points that we are experiencing as business owners with these types of clients.
Yeah.
And we can start to now market to clients who are educated on the maintenance, the frequency of the appointments, the benefits, how to get the best retention, all that kind of stuff. So that when they're seeking you, because they're not getting that elsewhere, all of a sudden they find you, and it's this magnet. Like, thank God there's a lash artist out there like this.
Yeah.
And we set those boundaries and expectations from the very first appointment. That consultation training we have inside the society, another really killer training to help set the expectations and have that conversation from the very beginning of how we set expectations for our clients, from even our social media, from our marketing, right? Because you're not somebody you don't seem like somebody who is trying to get walked all over. I think it sounds like there's just, I don't know how to communicate the boundary with the people pleasing. Because I do think that you really genuinely want them to be obsessed with their results.
Yeah.
So let's keep that as like, that's what we want them to feel and us to feel at the end of a very successful appointment. They feel confident and beautiful. I feel like I have helped them feel that way, and I've had great like stability in my business. Then we can work backwards from that end goal and look at the areas in our business that we can improve upon and optimize.
Okay.
Right. So I think the policies training that we have in the society, go back over that, get clear on what that is. There's some language in there that might help you. We have a one-time emergency cancellation that's really great for flaky clients that just cancel whenever. That client satisfaction policy is really good as far as like offering a 72-hour window for them to complain if they're not happy with the results. And then also how many extensions they need to, like exact number of extensions remaining per eye to be considered a fill versus a full set. As well as being able to enforce and say, I'm sorry, it needs to be a full set. We'll need to book you another day, and being okay with the discomfort that comes when the client's not happy with that boundary.
Yeah, I've done that a couple times.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yes. And then it's just working on your marketing to make sure that you're getting now in the clients that will respect your boundaries and policies.
Yeah. And I feel like my newer clients definitely are more respectful of that.
Beautiful.
They're definitely the clients who are coming in more often. They're the clients who are washing their lashes. They are.
Yeah.
It's just my original OG clients. I love them to death, but supported me and got me to where I am, but they're just the clients who were the deal seekers.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
cheapest
And just be
stuff.
cautious with I love my clients. They got me to where I am because there is a codependency on there that you owe them something.
Yeah,
They're customers of a business. Do you think Starbucks cares about who their first 6 clients were?
no.
No. And it's not that we don't love our customers, but we're also aware that they're customers
Yeah,
and that they're paying for a service and a result. And that's what we're here to do. And if it's no longer working for them and it's no longer working for you, then it's probably not a great fit. We don't need to kick them out the door, but we also know, like, this is how I run my business now, and they can choose to be a part of it or not. They're grown adults.
yeah,
I want you to be protective of your energy, of the emotion you're putting into these conflicts with clients and this, because I don't think it's benefiting you. I think it's stressing you out
yeah, it
and
is.
make you feel powerless over your business and your clients.
It is.
Yeah. And so we can protect that.
I know that. I feel like they know that about me. They know that, like, oh, if they're not happy, then I'm going to go out of my way to help make it better. I think they do know that. So
Imagine if you took the emotion out of it.
oh yeah, I've been
How would
doing
you handle those situations?
yeah. I mean, I've been doing a lot better actually. In December, I hired a coach actually to help heal from the inside out and to like
Love it.
separate your emotion from your business. And that's why my business has been doing so much better with my clients. It's why I'm so much happier. I'm so much less stressed, but I still just have a few of those clients that they just get to me sometimes. And it's fine.
100%. And yeah, so in the society, so we do quarterly master classes, and next quarter I'm bringing in one of my friends who does this whole training on codependency in your business. That's going to be, I think you will really resonate with it, of how much emotion and meaning on ourselves we tie to our business.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's been a big difference maker for me in separating out who I am as a woman, as Tara, as a mom, versus what my business does, and not having the money that comes in or doesn't come in, and the results and the clients and the customers and the feedback and the reviews have any meaning to me, because it changes how you operate your business.
It does a lot.
Yeah.
I've noticed.
So what's been the cool part about the society? You've been a member for a long time. So what benefits, or how has it helped you in your business?
And I mean, gosh, from A to Z, you helped me open everything up, from the business licensing to the training that I needed, to the facility, to how to get clients, to how to market, how to have policies in place, because the policies that I've learned from you have saved my business. I mean, I've gone to court from people trying to sue me, and I won every time because of the policies that you taught in your class. So like, it's been invaluable to me to have that, because I know that without that, I don't even know what would have happened. So it's nice to have those policies, and it's nice to know that I took my hobby to a business because of your society, for sure.
Amazing. You
Which
just
is,
made my week.
oh yeah.
Well, thank you, Lily. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you coming on and just kind of sharing so vulnerably. It's amazing to me just how open people will be to share, because like I can imagine it's not super comfortable, like talking to basically a stranger and like sharing all of these things, but then also knowing that there's going to be so many other people listening. But I can't wait to hear the reviews from this, because I think your experience is going to be so similar to so many people. So thank you for me and from the audience listening, that you shared so much and opened up so much, because you are not alone in the challenges that you're facing. And so it's very admirable and beautiful that you were able to share so much.
Yeah, and thank you so much for having me and getting that emotion and that openness from me, because it is hard, because sometimes I do get into my head too much, and I get too focused on what's going on in my head, and I don't think about the big picture. So hearing it from an outside source, I'm like, wow, like, you do see my frustrations, you do see my pain, and like, you're talking to me about it and figuring out how to go about it to make it less stressful and less hectic for me. You're giving me the most positive way of changing a bad situation into a good thing.
Yeah.
Which I think is possible. So thank you so much.
Mission accomplished.
Oh, yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you, Lily. I appreciate it so much. All right, guys, if you want to get coaching on the podcast, we'll leave a link down in the show notes. And Lily, thank you so much. Anything you want to share with everybody before we sign off? Anywhere they can learn more about you or ask you questions if they want any feedback?
Yeah, you can hit me up on my Instagram. It's Laylo Beauty, LAYLOW Beauty. I'm on there and I respond to messages within 24 hours, all messages. And just don't give up, no matter how hard it gets in this business, no matter how hard it gets in any business, just don't give up, because there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. Even if you think you're alone and in the dark, you're not.
Beautiful.
Just don't give up.
Love that. I love that. Feel free to reach out to Lily, guys, and connect with her on Instagram. All right, guys, have a good one.